This is the Innovation Studio. Because I have a whiteboard, nice beautiful whiteboard, but there's no whiteboard marker. Anyways, even with difficulty, even with lack of money, and not even a good microphone, we'll try to do something here now. Okay, we the basic thing, the basic is there's nothing that isn't God's energy that we can react with. Okay, we can only react with God's energy. Now, if it's God's energy, it has eternality, right? And it's pure. So, being like that, how is it that, crimes like genocide and things like that, they're also God's energy, but they surely aren't pure? Well, it's our power of our mind that gives it the energy. 90% of it is the power we give it by identifying it in certain ways. So, that's the basic thing. God's energy comes from Him, it's eternal. It seems like it's changing, it appears like changing, but we accept it and we put designations on it. And then we get mad at the designations. Okay. For instance, it is written thousands of years ago how that the basic principle, which is time, just time itself, has presented itself as space and time factor. So Einstein, he at the end of his life, he says, all my life I was looking for time, but I never found it. Because he was looking for that aspect where time doesn't have a time factor. And the time factor is created to bewilder. But it is given a lot of strength by how we see it. So here it is. The description of the time factor and how it is created. So I'll try to go back and forth and specify everything. I'm going to draw a dot. Good old black marker. Okay, the dot. Now that dot has no space and time. There's nothing around it. Nothing that can affect it. No space and time. It is not limited. So that one, you could call it an atom. That one atom wants to give an appearance, and we strengthen that appearance. So it wants to give an appearance that there is something more than eternal time. So it divides. It divides. So now we've got two. These two together, we can measure distance. Now space came into existence. We can measure distance. Also, if one is stable, the other moving, we can measure what is called velocity. Or you can put x as space, x squared as velocity, and of course the next one, x to the third power, acceleration. This has just happened by the one that was everything, and it is always everything, made an appearance as if it was two. That's all. So, velocity is it, and acceleration is pretty hard to do. So, established. But that establishing depends on somebody's eye. And whose eye is it? It's mine. I strengthen that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But to be of any use, this has to be multiplied 3 times. In other words, this double atom must appear 3 times. Now watch. The double atom. 1, 2. Okay? So now, we've got that. That's half of the program. And now, we've got the other half. If anyone wants to know, that's sacred. But now, someone grabs that and gives it a definition of theirs. But their definition that it is theirs has no value. Now remember, this one atom has appeared like 2. It's still one atom, but it appears like 2. And that same process is tripled. In the tripling, it appears like the star. And some civilization give it one name, another civilization gives it another name, but it is sacred. Some people denote it for a certain persons only. They haven't captured it. This is something from God. They haven't captured it. They haven't changed it. So the people that have supposedly captured it are totally dependent on the vision of the other people. If they had that symbol and nobody supports that they have captured it, then it has no value at all. So the value is the image that others have. They put force in that. And whenever they see it, they may love it. And whenever they see it, they may hate it. Who's to blame? The star is not to blame. It's not to blame. 2 people are to blame. The people that say that it's theirs and love it, and the people that support them in the illusion. They're just as much to blame. You are just as much to blame to say that somebody has captured some energy of the Lord and now they're the owner of it. They are not the owner of it. But you support it as the owner of it. And whenever you see it, you hate it. How can you hate God's energy? Don't support it. So, in the case of some people, take the same star, grab that star, and make it yours. Put it as red, white, and blue. It's no longer on a blue, black background and white. Take that star and put it on red, white, and blue, or in whatever way you want to. They have not captured God's energy, nor should one be foolish enough to accept that they have captured and this is giving power. No, the person that accepts is just as bad, if not more, than the person that feels that they have accepted and is angry. Because anger destroys. And that star should be loved because it is not possessed by anybody. So don't give over the possession with your foolishness. Take it and destroy their use of it. It's for everybody. It's how we are made. It's the matrix of me. So if you go deep into it, you are hurt. When you hate it, you are hurting the matrix that you sit on. This is the matrix of space, and it's also identified as space-time, the time factor. We can't escape space, and we can't escape the time factor. We're eternal in our one cell existence as the soul, but as for now, the time factor is above us. So don't enforce the lie. Don't enforce the law. The basis of that is given in scriptures thousands of years ago and described. And that you can find as life in everything. It's built upon, it becomes more complex, but that is the basis of life. Nobody owns it. Nobody can. They can show power only if you support it. If you do not support it and call their hand on it, how can they take God's eternal energy and then all of a sudden say it's theirs? Even the temporary energy is His eternal energy appearing temporary. So don't support these people. Yeah, don't support these people. Use it in a matter of loving it. Yeah, love that symbol and take it back. It's yours. It's for everybody. Anybody. Come on, this is science. Anybody can own it. Anybody. It's the basic. It's the basis of my existence right there. Existence in a made-up world, of course. The made-up world of the time factor. It's not real time, not eternal time. But that's it. And I'm captured. I'm captured right there. I'm the genome that has been captured in that. In a three-dimensional sphere, Yeah, in a three-dimensional sphere, it's really an incredible thing, you know. Yeah, let's see. I'm a little lazy, but I'll get up. That is the three-dimensional sphere of that. Right? Yes. All material nature. And the length of time that it takes for this to develop is measurable. And when you measure it, you, because it, you know, you can spin it, it's spinning, and what it's throwing off is the measured time that I am in. It gives the measured time which I am in at this moment. Because the measured time here on the earth is the rising and setting of the sun. That's not too hard to grasp, right? Not too hard to grasp. So in other parts of the universe, there are different planets that are associated with the rising and setting. For different planets, there's different planets that are rising and setting. And that is establishing their time. So our time, basically, 24 hours, you know, 365 in some days in a year. 6 months of hours. 6 months of hours is classified as universal time. 1 day. 1 day. So those personalities who live with that in mind, they have an object that is circling them and causing their day and night. But that object is taking 6 months to do a day and night. Okay? So their lifespan is 6 months times 100. Of course, you know, a year you'd have to do 6 months times 360 times 100, and that comes out to be their lifespan. So that is classified thousands of years ago. It's that written down that if you want to know universal time, that's how it is. And it even goes so far to show how to make a clock. It's an hour clock. So the hour clock here on Earth, it comes out, you know, in an hour for us. But now you go on another planet, that hour clock will not come out in the same way. It'll take longer time, but you won't even perceive of it because you'll be under the control of that place. Because it's under the control of another planet. So even this shows there is a difference between universal time, which they have not entered into. Even if they go into space, they don't enter into it. So universal time and Earth time are existing And if they come from where they are and come here, they fall under ours. Because the movement and the the construction and the separation of that object measures time. So how much time it takes one eternal atom to separately manifest into two, and three double atoms to then form that object takes a certain time according to where you are. Okay? So our time is not like universal time. It's proven. Oh, I just want to bring this up to show, don't let people take something that isn't theirs. They put a stamp on it. That is such an energy. That it's not just symbolism. It is how it is constructed. How every atom in us is constructed. And you hate it? No. No, there has to be a mind change here. In a very intelligent way. No one is the owner. No one established it. No one can reproduce it. Have them reproduce it, then they would be able to reproduce eternal time. They can't reproduce it. They can't stop it. They're under it. Just as we are under it, they are under it. So don't get boxed up, in a little corner and hate it. I would put that in red, white, and blue and put it on J-proof. I would have so much fun with that. Because it isn't theirs. And don't allow the hoax, or the whatever you call it, the gaslighting. Because that's what it is. Just gas just goes into nothing. Goes away. It's not theirs. Don't give it to them. They've never made it. They've never made that. Not even one. Not even one. They haven't produced a genome. They have to use the genome for everything. You can easily measure genomes in a human being, and you can see that all the genomes are the same. They have the same characteristics. They have the same abilities as the major genome of the human being. They're constructed in different ways for different functions in the body and everything, but they have the same potency. They're all the same within my body. 50 trillion genomes. They can be traced out. They're the basis of it. And they haven't made one. They cannot make one genome. They can take genomes and put them in different ways and then say that they've constructed something, but they cannot take and make a genome. They can't. No way. They can only rob. And it's a difficult concept to accept, but even iron and everything has this in it. This construction is in everything. You may say, okay, it doesn't really have a personal existence, but it does. Iron has a personal existence. Everything that has come from the Creator is eternal, has personality, but just heavy covering. That's all it is. It's just heavy covering and hard to identify. So, just careful. I don't know how to present it to the public, but I'm going to try to give this out to either Dr. Shiva to present or Stu Peters to present. But let's stop hate. Don't you can't direct your hate without hating the energy of God. You can call it satanic, give it a thing so now I can hate it. But it's God's energy that personality thinks he owns, and you are putting more energy into it, saying that he does own it. That's the point. He doesn't own it. It never became his. Okay. I'm a poor man. Very poor. Not just small poor, but very poor. But even just to put this video out, it hurts my pocket. So you can imagine how poor this guy is. And he can't even get a good mobile. And he can't even get a good microphone for you to be able to hear it. I'll try to write this down, but it's just so much easier to put it here. Okay. Thank you very much. Don't think that we don't all own that. And don't let others try to force you to accept that they own it.